Good morning, good morning. Today is Monday, January 8th, 2024. It's about 6 o'clock here in southwestern Nevada, just west of Las Vegas up in the mountains for Rump. It's about low 30s. And this is Department of Career Service, where our goal is to help you get from where you are to someplace better. From point A to point B, from someday Isle to Success Landia. So if you're somebody who is either a non-believing Christian or a Christian with a lot of questions, doesn't make sense to you, and you are not successful, this is the place for you. If you are a Christian and not successful, perhaps Monday through Friday is the place for you, not weekends. If you are not successful, though, this is the place for you to help you on your journey of life. What we do is we provide tools on how to get there, and we show you how to use the tools. Mainly, we create good habits. We help you create good habits. And habits start with routines and rituals. So this is the daily ritual thing to do. Doesn't matter what time you do it. Doesn't matter if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, nighttime before you go to bed. It's a ritual, a routine to get into to create good habits. You're not going to be successful if you don't have good habits. All right, that's it. No big deal. So let's get started with our breathing exercise. And this is to either help us get energy or reduce anxiety, anxiousness. Right now, we want to increase energy. So we're going to get as much air into our lungs as possible and then let it out. We're not holding our breath. It's just in, out, but it's a in, out approach that looks like this. Right, first 3, 2, 1, exhale. Good. Boom. Part 1 done on our daily routine. Part 2 is planning for today. When the video is over, you have 3 things to do: an exercise, an attitude of gratitude, review yesterday, look for things that you did well to repeat, look for things where you missed the mark, you fell short of the mark. What did you learn from them? No judgment, no value judgment against yourself. Don't beat yourself up. It's a learning experience. So, and then the third part, project the day, then go do it. Okay, leaving room, understanding that no plan survives contact with the enemy. So whatever you project, probably it's not going to go down that way, and there will be unintended consequences. So that's it. 2 parts on the video, 3 parts after the video. Daily routine, create the habit of doing this. Okay, now let's go to our worksheet. So the key to this is the worksheet. Not that worksheet, this worksheet. There we go. Okay, we're talking about planning. Why? Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So what we want to do is plan our work and work our plan. That's all we have to do. Plan our work and work our plan. So get started. 4 simple things. Number 1, say to yourself with conviction, something great is going to happen to me today. Something great is going to happen to me today. Okay. Number 2, always look on the bright side. always look on the bright side. No matter how bad it is, it could get worse. Focus on where you want to go in a positive place. Yeah, life is full of frustrations. That's okay. Just work to overcome them. Next, seek discomfort. Don't seek the comfortable route. Don't go the wide road, go the narrow road. Go the one that's a little bit tougher. Why? Well, fewer people are going to be there, number one. Number two, it toughens you up. It makes you a little bit tougher to be able to handle, to be able to handle the unanticipated things that will happen today. Okay? And finally, advice from an 80-year-old, or daily bit of advice from an 80-year-old. Answer the phone with enthusiasm and energy in your voice. Just be a little bit positive. Okay, cool. Now we can get into today's thing, which is employment planning workshop. This is something we're actually quite good at here at Career Services, is career. And you pick your career, but what we need you to start with is something that's stable, a career that's stable, meaningful, and at a livable wage. So let's talk about that for a second. Stable, meaningful, and livable wage. All three of those. So for example, being a janitor at Walmart could be very, very stable. Walmart's not going anywhere. They always need a janitor. Okay? Is it meaningful? Well, what does that mean? Well, is that something that you're proud to go to your kid's school and say, yeah, I'm the janitor at Walmart. I clean up the toilets at Walmart. Probably not so meaningful, but it's stable. And it has a livable wage, okay, because it's Walmart. On the other hand, being a painter, and I mean an artist, being a painter, being an artist, is it stable? No. Not in the beginning. It's not stable. It's very uncertain. How do you know anybody's going to buy your stuff? How do you know it's going to have value? Okay, just because you have talent, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful. So is it stable? I mean, is it meaningful? Yeah, being an artist is very meaningful. Very, 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 very meaningful. It defines us as a culture. It's what separates us from all other living creatures. We have art. We appreciate art. We are drawn to art. So is it meaningful? Yes. Is it stable? No. Especially not in the beginning. It's not stable. You've got to put in a lot of time to learn how to be good at whatever it is, whatever the art is. It takes a lot of investment of time and energy, creativity, etc. Habit, routines. It takes a lot to become a good artist. So it's not stable, but it's meaningful. And is it at a livable wage? Well, it depends on how good you are, right? Most artists probably have more talent than money. Art is their side job. Okay, so you need to figure out what is something that's stable, meaningful, starting with meaningful to me, and at a livable wage. If you can't get those three combinations, it's not going to be sustainable. You're not going to stick with it. It's got to be sustainable. So you can first start by asking the question, if I could do anything that I have the ability to do, what is it that I would want to do? And let's say I say, I want to be an astronaut. Okay. Then you need to answer the next question. Why do you want to be an astronaut? Why do you want to be an astronaut? If you don't have a good answer to this question, next. It's not going to be sustainable. Let's say I say, I want to own a restaurant. Why? Why do I want to own a restaurant? Because I like to cook. No, wrong answer, because Being a cook is not the same as owning a restaurant. Who are you if you own a restaurant? You're a business person. If you like to cook, you should be a cook. If you want to be in business and you like food and you have knowledge about food, now you can talk about being owning a restaurant. But you don't say, I want to own a restaurant just because I like to cook. What's a good reason to own a restaurant? Well, number one reason, people need to eat every day. As technology changes, as life changes, people are still going to need to eat. People are going to need to get their hair cut. People are going to need a lot of things, clothing, etc. And if you're good enough to provide food, people will pay for it. If you're in the right place, location, you have a product that people that is acceptable and at a price that people are willing to pay, and a whole bunch of other factors. Yeah, restaurant is not a bad idea. Okay, first question, what do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? Now, who do you need to become to do it? So if I go back to my astronaut um, job, what do I need to do to become an astronaut? And you can find all of the things you need to do to be an astronaut. And I would quickly say, I can't get there from here. I'm too old. I can't do it. Maybe if I started when I was 15, so I took the right courses in high school to get me to the right college, right university, to take the right classes there, to be physically fit, to be a college athlete, to do this, to learn engineering or whatever you need to know to be an astronaut, then I could be an astronaut. I can't go back and do that now. There's not enough time to do it. Okay, how about who do you need to become to own a restaurant? A businessman. And what's the number one thing business people need to know? Money. And what's the number one thing they need to know about money? Accounting, budgeting, controlling cash. Number two, finance. But number one is money. Because you can always scrape together enough money to somehow get your first restaurant. You can always do that. But can you scale it? Do you know enough? Do you have enough business sense on what to do? So that's money, marketing, HR, management, all kinds of stuff. So today we're just going to leave it at, so our employment planning workshop is 5 steps. The first step we're going to talk about today, or we have been talking about, is what do you want to do? Everything else follows from that. Nothing else really matters. First step, what do you want to do? And then there's 2 sub-questions. Why do you want to do it? And who do you need to become? And so if you can answer those 3 questions, what do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? Who do you need to become? Now you can go to step 2, which we'll talk about tomorrow. All right, let's talk about at least one more thing. Today is week number 2 in our 4-week neuroscience-oriented approach to success. This is week 2. Day 1. This week we call nope, we don't call it that. We call it Inside Our Skull-Sized Kingdom. Inside our skull-sized kingdom. Why is it our skull-sized kingdom? Because it's what's in here. We are created, evolved, conditioned, socialized to see everything in the world as relative to us. Is it cold outside? Well, relative to what? To what you feel cold is. How do you get to the store? Well, from where? Well, our general frame is from where I am. Everything revolves around me. The world revolves around me. That is my kingdom, and it's the size of my skull, generally. And so we focus on that and what's in your skull, and we say, cells are in my skull. Everything's made up of cells. And when we, so today So what we want to know is, why do we behave the way we do this week? Why do we behave the way we do? If we can understand that, then we can take more control over it. If I don't know why I do what I do, I can't control it, right? It's just random guessing. It's like the heater in here. I think I finally figured it out. Aha! Okay, so why do we do what we do? And we bring it all the way down to a neuroscience level. Psychology level focuses on thoughts, behaviors, actions, feelings, consequences, etc. We're taking it down below that to, where do these things exist in our brain and what causes them. So we're going to be learning about neurons. We're going to learn about neurotransmitters and the reticular activating system. Just those three parts this week, how they work together and help us answer the questions of who am I and why do I behave the way we do. So very important. Go do that. 16 minutes in, got to end this because I've got to get on the Peloton. I've got stuff to do by 7. So thank you for being there. Please share this. Make it part of your daily routine. Please share this with other people. We need to nurture and share. Nurture and share. That's it. And with that, I'll say cut.